Welcome, dear viewers, to a new episode of Dialogue Horizon. As we used to always dedicate the episodes on certain issues. This time, everybody, I think, is fully aware and highly concerned about the skyrocketing prices of the commodities and the hardship in the standard of living and the impossibility of making ends meet, ends between the earnings and spending. So this, if it continued, it is something catastrophic, and it might lead to what the economists, they call it the economic collapse. Economic collapse, that it's actually the end of it, the end of everything, the end of the state, the end when it comes to the collapse. Thanks God, till this moment, we did not reach the economic collapse, and I think we can still circumvent going to this bad situation in the near future. That's why we are happy to host our friend economist Yasser Al-Ebaid. Yasser Al-Ebaid, Dr. Yasser Al-Ebaid is Dr. Ferris, is professor in the University of the African University, or what is it called, professor? And also, but what's more important is that his contribution in the different aspects of the activities of the institution, international institutions, or regional, actually, regional institutions. He spent most of his time in different parts of Africa where they have similar situations, or they had passed by similar situation like what is Sudan is now prevailing in Sudan. Welcome, Dr. Yasser Muhammad Al-Ebaid.
Thank you very much, Mr. Engineer Haraz, of having me in this episode, and my regards to all people who are behind the cameras, and my regards to all the Sudanese citizens.
Okay, Doctor. Let us start by something which is very important. A recent announcement by the Statistics Bureau of Statistics. They used to have periodical statements about the inflation, especially we are concerned about the inflation, and you as economists, you are always concerned by the inflation. It's something similar to the doctors. Physicians, they are concerned about the blood pressure. If you go to any physician, if you have something in your eye, first he checks your blood pressure. It's the first thing he does to check that. So inflation is like the blood pressure of the human being. They issued a statement saying that the inflation dropped about 40 points. Now it is about 220 from 260 last year. But what is really amazing is that people did not feel this drop, as if this drop is not actual or not real, or because still prices are high, still high, and it's going up. Nobody felt this inflation. So as tell us about this drop. Is it something untrue? Is it something true but does not reflect the situation anyhow? Tell us what is the reason for the drop?
As you know, Mr. Haraz, the inflation is one of the signals of most of the economies, even the biggest economies in the world. And this, the inflation is one of the signals since 1930, since John Maynard Keynes, who was putting that theory of the economics of the. Like Soviet Unions and Japan and most of the biggest economies, has been affected but it's not like the third world like Sudan now. We're having so much problem in the economic through the inflation, and inflation one of the important indications of the economics, which is sometimes read the economics through the inflations. Inflation in Sudan since 1990s. It was one figures, and came to 2000, two figures, and we have reached up to three figures now. We are in the 3 points. It is reached up to almost 460, and now it's come back and been dropped to 260 last months. And as you know, since 2020, the budget has been targeted the inflation to be 95, but that was not happen, and still became increased in 2021 to 22, up to reach up to something like 300. Up to now is award for 60, and the increasement of the inflation, that indication of Statistic Bureau is about, it is really happen between 14 to 15 to 16 point. But now it has been dropped almost 46 point, of up to the 46%. It came up to 220, which is very strange. Even as you mentioned in the question, that is not being reflected to the people and to the prices, and still the price is soaring. The price is still other prices being stable, other price, but nobody's feel that something happened in the market now, or in the commodities, or the purchasing of the, and as you know, the problem now, the situation of the economy with the people now is really, the situation is so bad. This is why nobody is, as we know, maybe 30% to 40% decrease on the purchasing of the people, of the families and whatever. That is maybe going to reflect to the inflation figures from the Statistic Bureau, which is happen now. According to, we are an economist, we don't know how it's been come to from 450 to 220. Something strange, by the way. It looks like it's not been, I don't know, maybe there is no in the credibility in the indication of the statistic of the Bureau of Statistics, Sudan Bureau of Statistics. That is very, in fact, by the way, it is so dangerous if you don't give us the real figure of the inflation in the economy, because
okay, let me interrupt you. Because maybe the viewers, some people, they don't know how the inflation, how is it measured? Prices, they compare
normally,
prices, or what
normally by the pricing.
Prices of
By the pricing of the
certain
commodity, especially you take this just like examples from the food stuff. You take the margin of that. How is it been? Is it been going up or down? When it starts soaring up, that you feel that, because most of the purchasing, 70% of the purchasing of the people and families and in food. So the food itself, from oil, the whatever wheat or bread or something like that. Maybe the bread is still stable, but maybe we'll go to the wheat, we go to the sorghum, we go to the most of the food stuff itself, like oil, cooking oil, like the rest of the vegetable meat or something like that. So we feel that the increasement of the meat is going up. It's never gone down.
So the criteria is the prices.
Is the pricing? Yes,
they compare the
is
prices.
the prices. Is the pricing. The pricing. So the price, and another indication of that printing of the currency itself, even that is another dangerous signal in the inflation. It's reflecting to the inflation. Printing the currencies like that,
printing paper, banknotes.
Yes, like that.
It adds to inflation rate.
That increasement of the liquidity of the money for the central bank. So that means you have more currency than in the contrary side. You can't find that commodity buying buy that commodities or products. So the problem that the currency, the national currency, is more than the commodity and the production. So the production is going down, it's still low, and the currencies, which has been liquidity is outside in the market or in the banks, which is in the bank now 20%, 80% is outside in black market or in illegal economy. So that's the problem. You don't have production. The production is always going down, and still is in one figure. And you print the currency more than the production. That's the problem. So the other problem of the inflation is currency rate, the foreign currency rate. So that's another problem also. Now you see the dollar is fluctuations of the dollar is not stable. Also going is been soaring from 200 to 300 to 400 up to 500, 570, 580. It reached up to 80 and came down up to 570. Now it is still stable for maybe 2.5 months. That's three points in inflation. You can just measure the inflation by that one is pricing. The pricing is the first one. Currencies, national currency printing by the central bank, and the other is foreign currencies buying. Sorry, foreign. And the dollar is when you buy the dollar by the.
But Dr. Yasser Abed, people they notice that there is something about the currency, the value of the currency. The prices of the commodities did not follow the drop. As you said, the value of the currency, it reached at some time almost the threshold of 800 pounds, Sudanese pound to a dollar.
Yeah.
It went down, now it stabilized at let us say about
570.
600 plus or minus 20.
Yeah. It's
600
true. It's
now.
true. That's right.
But the prices did not cope or did not follow the drop in the value. This means it is something from
Yeah,
the
because
merchants, from
there
the
is something,
traders.
there is very important elements. Speculation is still there, and the illegal market is there. The illegal speculators are there. There is a lot of transaction is been outside the legal economy. So most of it outside the banks, outside the financial institution, and most of them just trying and buying and selling outside, and buying by they controlling everything. They're controlling the currency. They're controlling even the national currency itself. Even is being controlled by speculator and by black market and by those whom they are working in illegal and a black market outside. Those they controlling everything. Those became the real economic outside.
This is what is.
What's happening now, though? Because central bank is only controlling less than 15%, even maybe some other observers, they said even 10% only
Of the economy?
with the central bank and its institutions, like the
Okay.
banks and financial institutions in Sudan. But most of it is outside. That's another challenge. It's one of the biggest challenge. And in fact, it's been treating the economy so much. If you are not going to attract this money, and you are not going to bring the money to the bank, you're not going to bring this money to the institutions, you will never trade the economy, you will never trade the inflation, you will never trade the pound. The pound is going to be in challenge, by the way, for a long time, maybe expecting that. So if you are not going to bring the money, you are going to attract this money from outside, which is being in exploiters and the black market and illegal economy. So the pound and the economy is going to be in big challenge, in big challenge. And another element, the expatriate money also, the transfer of the expatriate money, which is outside now, is working very closely.
It is feeding the hidden economy.
Yes.
Actually, you are right.
Yeah.
The expatriates, that they never, most of them, 99%, they go to the hidden economy.
And outside Sudan,
Outside
the transaction
Sudan.
has been used outside. They're having their offices outside.
And they keep their money outside,
outside.
and reimburse the people, the dependents of the expatriates. They get their money in Sudanese pounds.
Yes.
So, hard currency, which is dear to Sudan, and most needed to Sudan, is kept outside by the 6 million or 7 million expatriates.
It's true.
This is about $1 billion a month, about. I calculated.
Something like that.
This is kept outside. You are
Yes,
saying
true.
it's kept outside, and people here are paid by the hidden economy outside the banking system.
And
Because
by
they give it cash.
It's true, and by the way, the official institutions and the official financial institution and the bank will never compete. They can never compete the illegal and hidden economy.
Very efficient, huh?
Because they can give you in seconds the transfer money. Or if you transfer money from Saudi Arabia, from Gulf, from there, in seconds you will find your money.
receive the
is
money
you receive
in
the money
cash,
yes, you will never compete them. There is no any procedures or the documentation or something like that. Immediately you pay, you get. Sometimes you can get on loan. If you have a salary, if I'm working in a company in UAE or Saudi Arabia, those people or those exploiters or those they're working in hidden and illegal economy, they can give you your salary for 3 months to your family here in Sudan in loan. They can give you a loan that in advance. You take it in advance, and that is a very good advantage. In fact, by the way, you will never find it somewhere.
This
That's
is
it's something like finance. They
this
finance you.
dependent on only one thing: trust.
It's true,
They
interest.
trust each other.
Only interest.
No
Only
paperwork,
interest.
no criminal
Banks,
cases,
no,
no.
no, something like that. That is, it can give you your advance salary for 1 year, and you pay your family here. If you
And they
have,
receive it
if you have a
much-
projects, you have a buildings, you are building something, your house or something like that, they can give you an advance loan in advance from your
So it's
salary.
a big problem.
It's a big problem.
So
It's a big challenge, by the way. How to attract and how you replace them. It's going to be another.
So let us summarize. If we summarize what we said now, the inflation, the figures given by the statistics, the inflation are not reflecting the reality on the ground, because these are affected, as you are saying, by first the price of the value of the currency, and by the prices of the commodities.
It's true.
Traders did not because of speculation, you said.
Yeah.
Because still people are okay.
But this is what we have seen. It is not decreasement or this is drop of the inflation or the pricing, but this is a recession. What's
Recession.
happening now? It's not that. It's not. You can't say that because nobody is buying. The buying is being decreased by almost 40–50% for the people, especially even in food stuff. That is another sickness also of the economy, because that's one of the biggest problems of recession also, because of the demand is going down against the commodity and against the production. That's happened. What has happened is recession, and we have to treat it very well, and we have to treat it very quickly now, because Minister of Finance has to put at least a program. You will never. So I don't know the way you have seen the drop of the inflation cannot come like that. Without a program, you can't come to
You can't give
it will never come. That's something randomly. I think, according to me, it is something randomly. It is not something became a scientific way. So you have to make us at least a program, short program, and you have to target the inflation from this figure to this figure, and you can reach to the point. It's not difficult to decrease it, or not difficult to drop the inflation. But otherwise, just by
the figures are
guessing
are misleading. The figures.
We don't know. We don't want just to lose the credibility of this indication of the inflation. It will be very dangerous. We have to look for
the indicator is good. The inflation, one of the indicators
of
the economic. The value of the currency is another. Something which we'll come to it later. The export and import, the balance of payment.
Yeah, the balance of payment also is being affected.
If the gap is very wide between import and export, this also something conducive to an economic collapse. This is something else will come. Maybe we'll come to it. But what you are saying that Doctor. One of the commodities, very important, which is the fuel, is prices of the fuel are now very high after lifting subsidies. But still, the stations are full of cars, and cars are waiting in line, and even people did not notice any reduction in the traffic. Still, the traffic jams, the cars are moving. To what can you attribute this? From where do people, it's almost multiplied by 10.
Sudan is a land of surprising. In fact, by the way, it's very strange. According to me, I don't know how the people getting the money to assist to buy the fuel by that way. And again is that you have to have income, so strong or a lot of income to cover that, at least to cover on the fuel, because the biggest challenge now for everybody is moving by this car is became the fuel. The fuel is became so much by the way, according to our annual income for the people. It is something very strange. Maybe this is just a category. You can, even if you want to make an analysis on that, this is part of the category. Maybe it cannot be more than 5% of the people who's moving around by their cars like that. With that, maybe 10% maximum. But the 90% now they left their car at home and they're moving by public transportation. Most of them. I have my colleague now. 3 of them they're coming with me every day, and they ask me from where you're getting the money, even yourself.
Yes,
How are
this
you
is-
moving like that? But it is really very affecting. It's something very,
also,
very painful, by the way. It is very difficult.
but also the expatriates, those people
Maybe,
we talked about this
maybe,
this
may,
$1
maybe
billion
expatriate, maybe
monthly
expatriate.
or around
Yes,
this
yes.
is transferred to
Yeah,
Sudan in cash.
because yeah, if you just transfer the money by dollar from dollar, it is not that big money. By the way, by expatriate, maybe they are
It should
part
be
of.
good for them because
I think so.
the prices of the value of their current currency is very high
It's
in
true.
In Sudan.
It's true. It's true now. Maybe if you compare that by neighboring countries, you find even we are less than others.
Maybe this is all.
1 liter now is
Maybe
still we are the lowest than the other countries like Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, up to South Africa. You can find that we are the lowest of that. But the problem, the income of the people now is in challenge now, so we cannot cover
those
that.
affected, that they're maybe only those who are in the payroll of the government.
I think
Who
so.
are paid, but
Those
the
are part
others,
of them. It's true.
the free traders and the craftsmen and they are just, and the private sector, by the way, the private sector of the Sudan, they give very high prices. They are very high salaries, by the way, they give very high salaries.
Mr. Haraz, you know,
Billion.
the salary now in Sudan became is another. Most of them that are now in a part of starvation, I think. So most of them who's getting the salary, but now I think so the home the teachers or the in the universities now they became now better because they 500 the standard 500,000 almost 1,000
even the police also
1,000 US dollar. Our police also is another
big adjustment.
Is the biggest now even now those in justice and the rest of the now is I think so they're in strike now. Although all of them now they're demanding that also. So you can't give this and leave those and this, give those and leave those.
So
that's another problem.
this is actually adding to the turbulence in the country.
Should be because
okay, Doctor,
but that's what is going to reflect on to the market even itself.
Okay, let us move to another part of the economy. Last week we read the customs, the Central Minister of Finance. They were concerned and worried about a drastic drop in the earnings of the revenues of the customs. And they sent a team from the Ministry here of Finance to Port Sudan to see the effect. Why a drop of 70%?
It's true.
What's the reason for that?
The reason very easy. You know, the reason from the budget itself. The budget is not real figures which is being put there. So he's
put figure which
is Minister of Finance. It looks like presented. It's not a true budget to the cabinet. And now when it came to the first quarter and the second quarter, it has been stopped completely to move more than that. So the budget it's been formed just only for 3-4 months only.
So you believe that from the beginning the budget was not realistic?
Yes, true.
From the beginning.
It needs interference from another side, maybe from custom, from taxation, or from another revenues. So that's only another solution. They don't have another solution because the production, the government, most of the things now, because as we know the port is being closed for almost more than 3-4 months. They have know that the revenue of the people of the government it's been also come back because of
the price of the
political situation itself even is reflected.
No, the price of the dollar, the custom, they call it the custom dollar.
The custom dollar also.
It went very high.
This is part of that. This is part of that. That is really also now we have seen even the export, the import is being now also.
Import reduced.
It's being reduced so much
because of the demand.
Because of the demand, there is no demand because of the recession there. The recession is there, as you know that there is no purchasing of the commodities and the rest of the commodities, which is also coming back. Nobody is interested in only the food stuff, which is being produced local. As you know that the sugar is being also increased, the taxes of the sugar is being increased yesterday, and there is no oil now at the market. That's another issue we have to interfere. The government should interfere in
oil, edible oil.
Yes, vegetable oil, the cooking oil itself. There is another also issue. Maybe those they're feeling and they're smelling that maybe the government is going to increase the taxes of the oil, import oil. This is why the oil now is
Being hoarded. They
part
hoarded.
of it is being disappeared from the markets now.
Okay, okay.
That's another issue also. So the government, Minister of Trade, they has to be aware of that. They have to be awake. They have to look for the market. They have to check what is. But we have seen even the, the, the part of the wheat which has been in the silos and whatever, it's been covered. It's going to cover another 6 months. That is another also good issue, and one of the important issue at this time. 6 months is very good. It's going to cover up to the end of the year. We are in June now. So that is a good. This was another good advantage also for going to cover up to the end of the year. So that is good also at this situation of the world situation and the crisis in the food now. Sudan being covered by wheat and another crops also, like sorghum, whatever, up to 6 months to the end of the year. Maybe the next budget going to be in a good position. Maybe
next budget, it will be in a good position.
Yes, I think so. It looks like that. According to me, they have made good stock from that up to the end of the year for 6 months. We have to look for sugar also is a part of food, strategic food. They have to also to put that one also because sugar is very important for people. Sugar, wheat, sorghum, and the rest of the crops also itself, the local crops. That is an important issue.
Okay. Another thing which also it raises some concern about the Bank of Sudan. Bank of Sudan is doing a good job. Bank of Sudan did two things. It took the responsibility of feeding the importers and the companies who import raw materials through Bank of Sudan, either through the auctions, the open auctions, or either by availing to each and every bank the amount they need for imports. Not only this, also it gave the freedom of, this is maybe the Economic Committee, the freedom of each bank to set its prices for the foreign money. So if there is a competition between the banks, is this something good or bad?
No way for the competition between the central bank.
No, they give the prices.
And
you go for the
economic committee, because economic committee is only issuing the resolutions or issuing the, but cannot issue the policy itself. The policy comes from the central bank because the one who's controlling the
central bank.
Central bank because the one who's responsible about the policies. But it seems like, but I don't think there is a competition. I don't think the competition
I say what because we are in the field of private sector. Every day each bank. I have the company from the finance controller, the finance manager, a daily message about the prices of the different currencies at different banks. Bank of Khartoum, the rate is so. Bank of Farmer Banks, United Capital Bank. Competition, but still the range of manipulation is still narrow. It's not big.
But the competition is in the margin and the fractions. It's not competition in the real figures. So that is allowed, I think so. It's not something we can't fear on that because something is allowed on that. When they compete each other in the fractions, it is good for the exporters and importers, and whom they're dealing in the big figures. But if you want to just to change 100, 200, 500, $1,000, it is not, the margin is not that big. But it is not. It's something allowed.
But it is something good. The Bank of Sudan.
It's not something bad. I think it's something good.
But also the bank of the people, the Bank of Sudan is, although it's trying to bridge this gap of availing the hard currency, also the demand, as you said, the imports, demands which affected the revenue of the customs.
It's true.
As if it is something
it's true,
very complicated.
That's right. It's true.
Because of the prices, the high prices, the demand went down. So the importers, they started to adjust their volumes according to the new demand, which is decided by the values or by the customers. Some customers, they reach the limits. They cannot buy like milk, for example.
It's true.
Dry
It's
meat.
been reducing the revenue of the custom because of the importers, you know, because
You said that, you said
it's,
that, you
it's
said
true. And the importers, you know, because of the recession, as we know that a recession, even the notion of the recession, that means the demand which is facing the production and the price is not that, it's not balancing. That's the problem of that. So that's why the custom now trying just to cover by increasing the revenue, at least to cover part of the deficit of the budget. Deficit of the budget is one of the biggest challenge now. So we're having 6 months, another 6 months. So the problem of how to finance the 6 months. The salaries itself is one of the another issue, is very important issue, and now we have seen in the media now there is a problem of June and the May salaries. So how the Minister of Finance is going to cover that one? Is going to cover it by increasing of the custom revenue, custom fees of part of of commodities which is being imported from outside. So that's another is a big challenge. In fact, it is going to give the Minister of Finance as a big headache. So they have to look for a solution important by immediately by any way, at least to cover these months which is going to face salaries problems of the financing the 6 months.
So there's a big problem.
It's
By
a
the way,
big
this is
problem.
one of the alarming indicators
It's true.
of a collapse is that the failure of the government to meet its basic demands. One of them is the salaries.
It's true. The portfolio of the economic committee also is not buying so much in gold. Also, that's another issue. I don't know what the problem of the finance or problem of whatever. So another issue, that one. So that one they have also to look for a solution. How they're going to, maybe they can make another portfolio, another one. So how to finance? They have to make at least investment funds. How to finance those commodities and how to buy the gold and to export the gold, because the revenue of the gold itself, even as you seen last week, the government has arrested a lot of importers of commodities because they don't bring the economic export revenue, and they've been playing around of this. That's another issue also of economic exporting revenue. It's not coming back, and maybe almost of it it's been, they arrested more than 20 companies. So that's another issue, also another problem. You know, most of the people playing with the economic like that, and the government is just looking like that on that.
Very sad.
Like, very sad, really. Very sad.
Okay, can you tell me about something very sad also, very sad. I heard and read in the papers last week that the failure of the agriculture bank, this is a historic bank of availing money funds to buy from the peasants, from the farmers.
Yeah,
so it's a big problem for.
The problem, let me tell you very frank about the agriculture bank. Agriculture bank, the problem of the agriculture bank, that is a big challenge also going to face the next also productions. The capital of the agriculture bank is really, if you find it, any traders inside Kishra, I mean, he can have more than that.
More than
the capital itself, and the overhead of the bank, it is so much. So the overhead of the bank and those staff and employees and how to operate all the offices around the whole the country. So the whole overhead is too much, and the capital of the bank is really, it needs a lot of interference from the president and the sovereign council to interfere to how to finance the agriculture bank. And Minister of Finance has to work very hard to at least to increase the capital of the agriculture bank. That's going to face a lot of problem, because I don't know to say the figure of the capital of the bank. Maybe it can give bad reflection about the bank. And if you see the buildings, you see the offices outside, you see whatever the operation costs, you think that this bank, the capital, it is more than 100 millions or maybe $1 billion US, and that is not even. If you multiply that one by maybe 10%, you can find the capital of the agriculture bank. Agriculture bank is facing a lot of problems, really.
So you are saying the agricultural bank has to be propped, have to be helped, assisted by the government.
Minister of Finance should
its failure is reflected directly to the next season
They can't
production.
buy. They cannot buy at this time because
Nobody will go for growing also another.
according to me, if one bag is maybe is the price of it jump up to 100,000, they have to buy it because this is going to encourage the farmers, local farmers, to at least to produce
produce
more and
more.
more and more. That's a very big challenge for importing the wheat.
Yes, well, this is very important.
Yeah, 100,000 is not less than it's not something big. So for one bag, now we're going about for 47,000. What is on? It is really those people. Maybe next year they don't know if they will they're going to decrease by 50%. Most of them they're going to not going to go for wheat maybe. Yeah, now they
Yeah.
have. I heard that they're going to soybeans. They're going to go to something like that. They're not going to go to wheat because wheat cost-wise going. It's cost-wise. It's really, and the government itself is fixing the price. That's another issue. Why are they fixing the price for the wheat? You have to leave it free. Have to leave it free to at least to.
You have to live free.
Should be. Should be.
This is a big problem. Okay. Now the situation, the sad, what you are drawing is a gloomy picture about the economy of the country. You are drawing this picture. Okay,
Yeah.
to be more about, if you go back to the expatriates, we heard that the expatriates in the Gulf area, about 6 million, about, nobody knows exactly. But also it's a fact, although people are suffering from the high prices and some people, majority of the people are not able to buy and to live decently. But still we hear that, and some people reported, they say that in Egypt alone, there are about 1 million apartments, some of them are very luxurious apartments, owned by Sudanese expatriates.
Yeah.
It seems that Sudanese expatriates, even their savings, they prefer to buy apartment in Egypt, for example, rather than bringing or invest in Sudan, which is something very, very bad. What can the government or any government to attract expatriates' money?
Expatriation is one of the biggest challenges for the government since 2011, I think so. Maybe up to 2011, the income of the expatriate is about $3 billion US. That 2011. This is the time of the session of Southern Sudan. After that, it's been decreased by 2.7 billion up to came up to now it's fractioned, I think so, at this year. So that's a big challenge facing the Minister of Finance, facing the central bank, how they're going to going to form a proper policies. This money which has been outside for buying by buying the apartments or buying houses outside in Egypt or in Turkey and whatever, that's one part of immigrants' money, which should be putting a strong and proper policies and rational policies how to attract this money to come back again. So we can't, because our people now, most of them, they're dealing in business and finance, they don't have a trust in our institution. We have to look for at least for a way, and we give them at least package of benefits of that, how they have to attract them to come back to Sudan because this is their country, and how to attract the money which has been outside the transaction of it all outside between Gulf country and Arab countries, and African country even like Ethiopia, like Kenya, like Uganda. Another one they went to invest there. Even part of the private sector also they are being there. And according to our statistic, even Sudan having almost more than 30 billion US dollar is been in around Sudan in neighboring country. So to attract that money,
about 3 billion?
30 billion.
30 billion.
Yeah, that is that.
In Malaysia itself, I think.
Malaysia also there. Also Malaysia is part of it, and Turkey and Egypt and Gulf area, maybe like UAE, Saudi Arabia, Uganda also, Tanzania, Ethiopia. So we have to look for a way, and we put a form at least a proper way how we attract this money, how we attract the money, which is even another money, also illegal money, also being outside. That what do you call it? That maybe this is migrant money. That is money escaping outside. So
smuggling.
Smuggling money. Also, there is smuggling money also, which is money is being stored in Sudan inside. That's even covered completely from official institutions like gold, like money, like dollar, like even there. People are storing this money in their houses, in their safe here in Sudan, and putting it underground, maybe in those villages and Sudan. So that's another is a big headache. How the government should be at least serious how to put, because if you get this money, you will never go for finance, for international finance. You will never go for
You never
international.
need that.
You don't need that one to go to the loans or go to whatever investment. So that money itself it can build Sudan. So, but that's another problem, another challenge. Expatriate is still also they don't know what to do. As you know that the capital is and the money is very covered. So if you don't get the safe way and safe place, we'll never come back to Sudan. So that's a challenge, and we need as if from the government, if this government or maybe after forming the cabinet also, they have to target only this area. So this money they have to target, and they have to put up strong interest packages for those whom people have to look for how to put at least reserve in the central bank, and buying a lot of gold as in putting in the central bank, and having a lot of at least if the government buying most of the production of this year, at least it's going to be in a good position. It's going to be in a good in the economy. Maybe they're going to be stable. So by starting after the stability of the all in the indicators, maybe you're going to go to jump to the reforms, because the reforms now is very far from this step. This stability needs just stability and stabilization of all the indicators in Sudan, inflation rate, exchange rate, pricing, and recession. Also, you have to go away from. It should go away from the economy, at least to make proper program, at least to solve the problem itself.
You know, Dr. Yasir, that's why I asked about expatriates. I give you, you know better than me, two neighboring countries, Ethiopia and Egypt, the expatriates are adding positively to the economy,
It's true.
to the GDP of the country.
It's true.
They love their countries.
It's true.
The Ethiopians,
Yeah,
especially
and
Ethiopians,
Egyptians.
wherever you and Egyptians,
Yes.
they love their country and they transfer their money. Their aspiration is not like our Sudanese, just to have their families live in good, decent conditions. So they send and the conditions, and they send it through the banks, whether Ethiopian or the Egypt. These are good examples. What did they do? Even Sudan tried better benefits and advantages to tantalize the expatriates, but it didn't work. For quite a long time, the people failed, maybe due to the instability of the governing systems, or what is it?
It's true. No, not a matter of aspiration, but matter of the fluctuations of the indicator in Sudan. So it's not stable. People are fearing that maybe if they transfer their money in the banks, in our banks, they're going to fear that they're not going to get the money in hard currency. Maybe even in local currency, they might not get it. They might not get it to at least to withdraw the money, and the trust is not there. The confidence is not there. So we have how we build the trust, how we build the confidence between our institution, between the banks. And the bank itself even is another issue. Even the bank, even themselves, they don't have that motivation how to get at least products to attract the money of the expatriates. So Egypt maybe is different. Egypt now is attracting more than 35 billion US dollar annually, and also Ethiopia the same. Maybe loving the countries, loving also their lands there. Maybe Sudanese, as you know, that they don't like that type of. They're always trying to abuse the land and whatever. That is another issue. But the problem, this is not the main problem. The main problem, how to return the confidence to your institution. Even the central bank itself, nobody can trust. So we have to trust, try to put the confidence on your central bank. Central bank is the heart of the economy. Is the heart of the economy. The heart of the economy. If the heart is not working well in the body, so it will never get get any treatment in any. So you have to try to get away, and it's not difficult, Mr. Harris. It's not difficult. It's something that's difficult. I know. If you get a proper economist to form at least a program, or physical program, or shock program, or emergency program, at least you can treat the economy within 1 year only. As you know, that 1994, 5, 6, up to 99, the economic, the inflation, it was a disaster at that time. But that time, the Minister of Finance at least worked on that up to came to the proper and tried to treat the economic. And after that came 99 and 2000, things became different completely. So now it's not something. We have an example outside Sudan and other countries. They reach worse than what we have reached. So we can trade because we have a lot of potential in Sudan. We have a lot of advantage in Sudan. We have a lot of resources in agriculture itself and animal resources and livestock. You can treat part of the production at least to pump some blood to the economy to get the economy in a good position.
Expatriates is a big problem. Okay, Dr.
This is
Yasser
very
Eid.
easier money, by the way. Money expatriate is very easy way. Doesn't need from you any production equipment or production tools
money,
or we don't need from you fertilizer. Only just how to attract it, and how to put the trust in your
People.
and give them packages. At least give them benefits, give them interest, give them something like that.
Yes. Okay. This is go to a very important area. It is your domain. You like it, and it's a very good area for the Sudanese people to know. To tell us, Dr. Yasser Eid, about it. It was proven by the all geological surveys that Sudan is very rich in minerals, especially gold and copper and iron. But anyhow, especially gold. Can you just tell the viewers, tell us about this potential, this good potential for the economy of the country, the minerals, especially the gold?
Mineral sector is one of the promising sectors in Sudan.
Promising.
Very promising.
Okay.
And one of the there is part of it, maybe 50% of it is easier. The problem now, we have some problems in these sectors. The sector is not consolidated, all of it. Sometimes the sector is working just like isolated parts. So we have to come all the parts of the sector should come together, and they have to put a proper plan in mapping, in exploration, in mining, in production. So all these operations should come together at least, and we have to put the priorities of the mineral itself. Or like industrial minerals, one of the easiest to explore on that, one of the easiest mining sector site. So industrial minerals, one of it is like kaolin, like pozzolanas, like ceramic industry. That's one of the easiest one, and it's been around Sudan, maybe in Red Sea or in River Nile and in South Kordofan, like iron, like
Okay, what about the gold? Now people
the
they
gold
want to
itself,
know about the gold. How the gold? What is the amount from your readings? You are not a geologist, of course, but you have an idea.
Production of the gold annually, it is about 150 tons.
150 tons.
50 tons.
It's
People are saying
money.
more than that.
It's a lot of
150. That is almost more than $7 billion US dollar. 7 billion US dollar, maybe if the income of that. And if you calculate, and by the way, all the gold comes associated with another minerals like silver, like cobalt also itself, because this comes associated with when you come to the extractions of the oil of the gold, silver it come to with you immediately, and also cobalt itself. Sometimes come with silver, sometimes come with cobalt. 75 to 80% of that it is from traditional gold mining.
Traditional mining.
And the traditional miners. That is comes like that. Another it comes like tailing one. It comes to the tailing site, producing that by maybe 15%, and 10% is the companies. Those companies which is working in
Private companies.
private companies, local and
The government doesn't have any mining activities. They
no,
don't.
no,
They
doesn't
just
have.
buy it.
The only they're having just small companies called Sudan. Sudan is working in extraction of tailing of that they're having plant 2 3 plants, and now it's not working well, and producing about maybe 500 to 600
What about Ariab? Some people, Ariab, is it a Sudanese company, Ariab?
Ariab itself, it has been formed by Sudan and France company, which is 1999, 1991, and it's been working for almost 20 years. And the France company, at that time it is producing about 5 to 6 ton annually, and the France company is sell their share there to one of the Egyptian businessmen. It's called Cyrus. Selling to him, and after that also the government buy its share, and now it became a Sudanese company. The production of that company is about now 1.9, 1.7 ton annually, and being reduced from that side because Riyadh company having a lot of problems now at this time. Problem of water, problem of production itself now, because they have 2 plants. One plant is called CIL, carbon leach, and another plant called VMS, volcanic massive sulfide. Those 2 projects, it needs a lot of money to finance the company. The company itself, it is in need of finance. Having 2 projects, they want to be, and the water projects also, they want to bring the water from the Nile, because Riyadh itself now having shortage of water there. So because, as you know, that the mining needs a lot of water for extraction,
And
yes, it needs a lot of water.
purification.
So now Riyadh is another challenge also. According to me, they have to look for outsiders, an international company to come and join. Because the technology itself now, we are in need of technology to Ariab. At least we need Ariab to come to reach, or at least, because it's a government company, to reach at least to 6 to 7, maybe to 9, if they do these 2 projects, this VMS and CIL. So now the production itself now, most of it is going on smuggling, and as you know that, and the smuggling really affecting this sector so much. And to treat that smuggling, so you have a lot of steps you have to do it, because the smuggling now really facing the economy so much, because most of the production, 90% of it is being smuggled outside. It's being smuggled outside. So how are you going to solve this problem? That's another challenge, like expatriate problem, because this is also in your hand. It's not something difficult to
Smuggling, but if
stop
it
the
is
smuggling.
done by cartels, powerful cartels and protected by cartels, it is difficult to. They just can just capture or those who smuggle 10 kilos, 11 kilos every now and then. But the bulk of the gold exported is illicit, not legal.
Yeah, because they are looking now for gold stocks market, gold stocks market. Now they want to form that one, and now this type of gold stock market. It needs a lot of pillars, how to form it, because you have a lot of challenge also. You don't have a accredited refinery. You don't have accredited laboratories. You don't have a proper financial system to be integrated with international system. How to transfer?
So they need technology, a transfer of
and
technology.
in fact, by the way, you are not in the international global council of the gold. That's another issue. So you can't form at least stock market, and you're not a member there. So because you are not being in that side, and you can't form a proper stock exchange market for gold, because you are being it's going to be isolated from the international system.
Okay, Dr. Yasser, thank you very much. I think we spent 1 hour. Thank you, dear viewers, for being with us in the last hour about the economic situation of the country. Hope to see you next week in a different issue of Dialogue Horizon. Thank you and bye.